morning, y'all. So I'm back at work, and normally I don't even post videos, but this is something that has been on my mind. Y'all know I've been on my little maternity break, okay? And I just been off work, so I kind of been on TikTok debates and stuff like that, right? But the more I've been debating, this thing has been bothering me, and this is like a question that I want to understand. To the atheists, if you do not believe in God, why are you blaming him as if you're referencing he exists? Let me try to expound a little bit. So, you say you don't believe in him and he is not real, right? But then you host lives and said he did this and he did that. If he does not exist to you, how are you blaming somebody that does not exist?
Okay, so it's cool. I'll take this one. So first things first, all respect to Slim, respect to the military. I didn't even know she was in the military. But yeah, respect to Slim. She comes on my lives and she debates, and she does a pretty good job. She's a Christian apologist debater on the rise. I think she does a fantastic job. I learned a lot from her. So I think I'm probably just going to talk about two things. I'm hosting a live right now, and I need to make this really quick. So for one, yes, I get what you're saying. Like, why do atheists critique God when you guys think that he doesn't exist? Okay, so my first point is that a lot of the time we're doing like an internal critique. We are granting you that like, okay, so if God exists, let's look at his behaviors and let's investigate the Bible and see, does the way that he interacts with the world, is it coherent, or does it work with like how he's described? Like everything that God does, is it loving? Is it all knowing? Does it show like a higher level of intelligence than a human being? Does God work or fit the description that he gets a lot of the times when Christians are describing him? We don't believe that God exists, but if we're going to talk about God, we typically grant that God exists, so let's talk about what the Bible says about him and whether these things work. I'm not sure if that's a good explanation. Hopefully, I made a good explanation, but yes. So the first point is that we just do an internal critique, and when we do those, we have to grant that God exists, and we're examining him to see if he fits the characteristics or how he's described in the Bible, and whether the Bible is coherent with who God is perceived to be. Second thing is that whenever we talk about God, the reason that we talk about him like he exists is because a lot of us are coming from a Christian background, and we're talking about our personal experiences with God. One of the reasons that we don't think that God exists is because God is not noticeable or detectable with our five senses. Some of us have unanswered prayers. Some of us, we experienced religious trauma and God didn't do anything to stop it or help us. And ultimately, it's just, as an atheist, I don't believe in God because I don't believe or accept any of the religious claims that people make, and I don't see God acting on our world. I can't see him, I can't touch him, I can't hear him, this is gonna sound weird, but I can't taste him. Ultimately, the idea is that we can't perceive him with all of our five senses. So how real is he? I don't want to be this guy that's always throwing my sob story out there, but part of my departure from Christianity was I came to a point in my life where Christianity was causing me a lot of anxiety and fear, and God wasn't anywhere to be found. People like to say that God is our holy and loving Father, but he isn't here when people are being essayed or abused by religious people who are supposed to be our leaders. Instead of, I was talking about this earlier today, but instead of delivering the message of Christianity to us personally, God put it in the hands of men who are susceptible to being corrupted. And again, we don't see God, we don't touch God, we can't interact with God. If God is a loving Father, he was never really there for us. And he wasn't there for me when I was struggling, and people were making fun of me when leaving Christianity and not understanding what I was going through, but wanted to tell me how to live my life. There was a time when I loved God, I yearned for God, I wanted God to be a part of my everyday life. But when things got hard and God wasn't there, and I started analyzing atheist arguments, I realized I had to grow up. And in life, no one's coming to save you. The government's not coming to save you. Your parents aren't coming to save you. You need to work hard and make something out of your life. And God isn't doing anything for me. Anything that I get is because I put in the hard work. I needed God in times where people did so many cruel things to me, and God didn't come and establish justice. Does God really care about his children if he's not willing to intervene with their lives and protect them, teach them himself, just be there for us? God was always interacting with people in the Bible and helping them and, talking to them and loving them. He loved them so much. He came down as Jesus and, went on the cross for them. But when it comes to us in 2024, God is not here doing anything for us. He's not speaking or talking to us. And I've made this claim before, and I learned what I'm about to say from Matt Dillahunty. But as we progressed as a society and started doing research and science became more and more and more of a thing, God faded out of existence. Isn't that ironic, or could that be a coincidence? Maybe these were just stories. Maybe the Bible's just stories written to explain how the world works during a time of complete ignorance when everybody else was also making stories. This is my take. Unscripted, unrehearsed. This is just right off the top of my head. I can go into deeper thoughts, and maybe I should have wrote this down before I said it. But tell me if I make sense, and tell me if I don't make sense. I'm open to learning about Christianity and atheism and letting the best idea govern my life. Question everything, people.